just happened?
No.
You didn't, did you? No? Take 5.
Those were just to practice the microphone.
Oh.
We're here to tell you about our birth story because we have a birth video coming, but I don't know when that's going to be here, and we just want to share how cool it was. So, it was awesome, huh?
It was.
It was awesome.
A good experience.
We had a home birth, and Brian, who was hesitant at first, loved it.
That's fair. Hesitant.
Hesitant
Not
at
really my thing.
first, but loved it because 1 hour after I had a baby, we're all snuggling in my bed.
That's true.
In our bed. Anyways, so this is funny. So Sunday night, it was March 18th, at 2 a.m. I started having contractions, strong contractions. And I just was awake by myself thinking, is this it? Is this not? And then at 3 a.m. my water broke. And so I wake up Brian and I'm like, it's time.
And I'm thinking, well, I had this plan. I'd already told her that if she starts to go into labor at nighttime, she just needs to take it easy and lay back down and just relax because labor's going to be a long, drawn-out thing. So just bite the bullet, take a couple of hours off, and just relax and let me sleep.
Yeah,
while you're
he's
laboring.
never been in labor, so I'm like, my water broke, it's time, and he's like, I think you should lay back down and go to sleep.
Well, it wasn't just like my water broke. She was like this in bed, sleeping. And all of a sudden, my water broke. It wasn't just
I wasn't asleep.
honey, my water broke.
No.
It was you were laying down and boom, you shot up like a dart.
Yeah, but I wasn't asleep. I had been laboring for an hour. You just didn't know.
That's true.
So, he tells me to go back to sleep, and I'm like, no. My contractions are every 5 minutes. My water broke. I'm calling everyone. So we called my midwife and my doula.
But for the record, let me just say this. Last time her water broke, we had Indy 42 hours later.
Yeah, so.
42. A 4 and then a 2.
Yeah, 42
so
hours.
in my mind, I'm thinking best case scenario, best case, maybe 10 or 12 hours. So you should lay down and rest for the first little couple hours.
Anyways, so we call as I'm calling everyone, he's like, I don't think you need to be calling everyone. Isn't this when we're supposed to like hang out by ourselves for a while?
Make a birthday cake. She has all the stuff to make a birthday cake, to delay, to just spend some time laboring.
I wanted to make Birdy a birthday cake while I was laboring, but I didn't have time because labor hit really fast, which I'm thankful for. So, anyways, I was like, he doesn't understand that we're going to have a baby, like, really soon. So, anyways, everyone got to our house by 4 a.m., and we labored around the house for about 2 hours. My doula, incredible, like knows every pressure point to push to help you get through every contraction. It was amazing, and it was like so manageable and doable. I remember thinking, are these contractions strong enough? Because like I just was able to get through them so much easier than I did with Indy. And in between each contraction, I was just completely relaxed and like smiling and talking
And for any dudes out there whose wives request a doula, pay the dollars. It's the best dollars you've ever spent.
It was a really, really good investment because then Brian could just be like emotional support, like you're doing a great job. Get me water.
Emotional support, she means I filled up the tub. I filled up the little blow-up tub that we stuck in this room and put the little liner in it and got everybody waters, made sure everybody was well rested, well fed, and had enough of just the support crew. That was more of a support crew. That's why the doula was helping Tara more than I ever could either.
Yeah.
Knowing she knew
the pressure points, where to push to alleviate the pain. Yeah.
Counter pressure, yeah.
Or not the pain, the intensity. It was just intense.
And the doula knew way better how to coach Tara through the different contractions. Like, she knew what was happening more than what I knew. Mm-hmm. And I'd gone to classes. I'm educated. I've gone to 2 different birth classes, but still the doula was able to read the situation and read Tara way better than I was able to. So it's awesome.
Our doula was incredible. So at 6 a.m. they told me to get into the birthing pool, and I was like, already? It's time? You think I'm like that close? Because I just didn't feel like this was the intensity that I needed to be having a baby. But
And in my mind, I'm thinking 42 hours, she's going to be in and out of this pool. She's going to be walking around the house. She's still going to be laboring. Just because she's getting in the pool does not mean it's close to time. That's what I was thinking, to be honest with you.
so I get in the pool at 6 a.m. and I hit the transition phase. Now, the women out there know the transition phase. That's the most intense part of labor, where you get this huge rush of adrenaline as everything just opens up and you're about ready to start pushing. And a lot of women start throwing up at that time. They get shaky. It's really intense. And it was very intense. And that was the first time during the labor process where I was like, oh my gosh, can I do this? And
she said, I can't do this. That's what she said. And
I
for the guys out there, especially the young bucks that haven't had a chance to have a child or a woman in labor, you know you're in transition when the wife says, I can't do this. I can't do it. But in her defense, the very next words that came out of her mouth was, oh, I can do this. I can do this.
It was really cool, this mental preparation that I did for the birth, because it was like, I said I can't do this, and it was kind of like the words just left my mouth, and then I thought about it and I was like, oh, I'm doing this. I can do this. So it was really cool, because it was like really just within a few seconds that change. So,
and birthing at home, you don't really have the option of interventions. You know,
well, you don't have the option of an epidural.
Yeah. You don't have the option to say, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I give up. I tap out. Just give me some drugs to make the pain go away. I mean, there's not an option for a home birth. So she, I think, knew that she was committed.
Yeah.
And particularly because I wouldn't have let her quit. Not because I wanted her birth a certain way, more I wanted her way because she wanted the birth a certain way, and that's what I wanted for her.
Well, and I was motivated for myself.
Right. I mean, that's your motivation is what motivated me. Not that I particularly wanted you to do things a certain way. More, your motivation is what motivated me.
Yeah.
I knew what you had wanted, and even if you would have wanted to quit, I wouldn't have let you.
Which is a funny story, because when I was in labor with Indy, and after it was like 30 hours into labor, and I was like, I think I need an epidural. I feel like my body is giving up. He was like, we are not an epidural family. And the nurse at the hospital was so mad. She looked at him like he was the rudest husband in the whole world. And he only said that, it was really funny, he only said that because he knew I really didn't want an epidural, but at that point.
But if it's me having the kid, I'm the type of, like, if I want epidural, I'm going to get epidural. You know, to me, I'm not like pro epidural or con epidural. Like, it doesn't matter to me. I just knew, like, Tara is no epidural. Therefore, we are a no epidural family.
It was really funny. But anyways, no epidural, or an epidural wasn't an option this time. So, in the birthing pool, hit transition, and then at 6:30, I started pushing, and it was just like incredible. It was intense, but it was the most incredible experience, and I cannot speak highly enough of the birth classes that we did with the meditations and affirmations. Those affirmations that I listened to daily, they kept me going through the whole labor, through the whole pushing. Like, I would have a really intense contraction, and then immediately when the contraction stopped, I was completely relaxed.
Yeah, she did an excellent job of staying
like
relaxed.
in a different world, I feel like, where I was just like, okay, everything was peaceful and calm, and everything happening around me was just like perfect to me, and I was able to completely relax. And then the next contraction came, and we breathed through it, and it was just amazing. So I felt very mentally prepared for this experience, and I think because of that mental preparation, I think that's why, to me, it was like not a painful experience. It was not like, it was hard. It was hard work. And I remember after I gave birth, I was like, wow, that was intense and incredible, but it wasn't like, oh, that was so painful, or that was so hard. There was nothing negative about it. It was really cool.
I also think that's why the the labor and the birthing process went so fast for Tara was because she was mentally prepared for it. She wasn't scared. She wasn't nervous. She anticipated what was coming and allowed her body to just open and do what bodies do.
Yeah.
You know, instead of resist or fight or worry, or she just let it be and it happened faster that way.
So we were taught that if you breathe through the contractions and imagine all your muscles opening and your cervix opening, then
Sphincters, all your sphincters opening.
Then everything is just relaxed and everything will progress faster. Anytime you experience stress or anxiety or fear and you tighten up your muscles, all your muscles tighten up, and then it slows down your labor process and your contractions will be less effective. So if you can breathe down, breathe your energy down during a contraction and just imagine everything opening, like everything opens. That's what we were taught, and that's what happened for me. It was really cool. So it was just such an amazing experience. At one point when I was pushing, my midwife, I didn't get checked at all during my whole pregnancy or during my labor, like a cervical check. And my midwife was like, why don't you reach down and see if you can feel her head? And I was like, really?
That was cool.
And so I reached down there and I could feel her head, and it was like, oh, I just got so emotional at that time. It was like, oh, she's coming. We're going to meet her soon. It was really incredible. And then because I was able to feel where her head was, with a couple contractions later, I was able to feel again and see, have I made progress? And so it was really cool because then I was able to track my own progress to know, okay, you got to push a little harder, breathe down a little harder, to make more progress with each contraction. So,
and I don't know why I had never heard of that before, as far as women feeling the head. Like, what a great motivator, you know, to know that this is coming. Like, this is really, really happening. I've never heard anybody teach about that or read it in any books, but what a great idea to say, look, Mom, you can feel it. It's not like it's a weird thing, Mommy. You know, but you can feel your baby, and that gives you the motivation to keep going because you know it's there.
It was so incredible, and I just, I only cried once during labor, and that was the time that I cried, and it was tears of joy. It was never tears of, like, pain or sadness or exhaustion or anything. It was like, oh, I'm so excited to meet her. It was so, so cool. And then when I was pushing her out, it was like, it was just incredible because I could feel everything, and my body told me, like, when to slow down the pushing and when to speed up the pushing. So we were taught too that in order to, like, not tear, your body would tell you when to push, when to relax and stop pushing so that your baby didn't come out too fast. And also my midwives and doulas coached me really well through that. That was so cool. Like, my body told me, okay, stop pushing for a second. And I just listened to my body, everything it told me to do, and I didn't have any tearing. And the actual process of pushing her out, which I think, you know, most people associate with so much pain, like, it was not painful. It was not painful at all. It was an intense feeling, but it was like, I don't know. It was like I was just so relaxed. It just happened. So it was incredible. It was the most amazing experience.
It was good.
Yeah. And then, like, 10 minutes after I had her, we did skin to skin for a while. And then 10 minutes after I had her, we just crawled out of the birthing pool, and I laid on my bed, and it was amazing. And I was up walking really quickly after, and my recovery was so fast.
I know. It was nice to be home. I kept telling everybody that like 6 or 7 hours after the process began, we were done and relaxing, and I was taking a nap on the couch.
But he was taking a nap in the bed, actually. And it was so nice, too. Oh, one thing I wanted to add was, right after transition, I kind of lost a lot of energy, and they asked me if I wanted some food, but I wasn't up to eating food. So they went and got me a spoonful of honey, of raw honey, and I thought that was so smart. That was my doula's idea. She said, how about honey? That's great energy, and it did. It worked fabulously. It gave me some quick sugar, quick energy. So I wanted to share that because that is a smart thing to have with you while you labor is honey. You could even do honey sticks, but
and
that was awesome.
She was super hydrated the whole time because a dehydrated uterus is not a happy uterus. At least that's what they say.
probably not going to be able to hear what you just said.
Oh.
Hey, so the video that we made telling our birth story cut off and we didn't even know. So, but that's okay because now you get Birdy in the video, and Birdy is now 5 weeks old. And in that, when we made the first video, she was 5 days old. So I'm a little late to posting it, been a little busy. So I just wanted to wrap it up, but I can't remember what we shared on the last video that was cut off. But so what Brian was saying as it cut off was that a dehydrated uterus is an irritable uterus. So mamas, if you're pregnant, laboring, giving birth, make sure you're drinking lots of water because your uterus needs it. And then I just wanted to, like, in anticipation of questions, talk about some things about the home birth. So I know that a lot of people are pretty leery about home births. I always was, actually, but I felt totally safe and comfortable with the home birth because they have all the life-saving equipment, like resuscitation equipment for the baby and mom if needed, resuscitation equipment in general. They have the medications that you need in case the mom starts hemorrhaging after giving birth. They have ROGAM, they do the APGAR score right away, they do the newborn metabolic screen, they can do, you know, all of those things that you can get in the hospital, you can do with a home birth. You just can't have an epidural or a C-section, obviously, but anyway, so grateful that none of that stuff was needed for us and everything went so smoothly, but it was a beautiful experience, and I just loved that I was up walking like 15 minutes after I had her, and that my doula and my sister went into my kitchen and made me a wild blueberry smoothie and avocado toast and my type of healthy food, and I wasn't in a hospital for 2 days, and I didn't have to have hospital food, and Brian had a comfortable place to sit and to sleep, and nobody, like, I didn't have to worry about anyone taking my baby away, and I didn't have to you know, nobody came in every few hours to check on me, which was really nice. Within like 3 hours after I had Birdy, absolutely everything in the house was cleaned up. Everybody was gone except for me, Brian, and Birdy. And we just got to sleep and relax and enjoy our little newborn the whole day. It was so peaceful and perfect. So, just great experience for us. So blessed, so happy that I did it the way that we did it the way we did, and so happy that little Birdy is here. Huh? Say bye, Birdy. Bye. Thanks for watching and listening. It was fun to share. Love you guys. Bye.